Yo, this is Supermax Hernandez, and you're watching Countdown City WrestleCast. Boom! I got it.
What's up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I am your 40-year-old host, JC, and I'm joined
Over
this week.
the hill.
I'm joined this week by Tommy.
Hi, guys.
And we got Mike.
What's up, guys? I love wrestling, and love always wins. Boom.
Of course, you can follow along with us. Our Twitter is at @CCG_WrestleCast. And subscribe here on the Countdown City YouTube channel if you are just catching us for the first time. Today, we are going to recap AEW Revolution. Mostly good. We all know what was bad because it's been all over the internet.
Yeah, the Dark Order not winning the tag rumble. That's what was
that was bad.
No, I'm just kidding.
That was the second worst thing that happened all night.
And then we're also going to preview ImpactSacrifice. They have five title matches, I should say, on the card this weekend. And one of them just got a little bit more important. Some breaking news from Impact Wrestling a little while ago. We're going to talk all about that. First, I do want to offer my thanks to both of the guys on here and my wife. I turned 40 on Sunday. I was pleasantly surprised with the birthday parade you guys brought me that day. I had no idea. My wife did a very awesome job of making that a special day, getting me a cake that I could eat, gluten-free and dairy-free, and then Mike calling me saying he needed help getting a gift out of his truck. I'm like, what the hell did he buy me? I already got a new grill. What more could I want, right? And there comes the parade, and there's Tommy yelling at me, "Happy birthday, you son of a," you know. But
so the funny thing is, Tommy, we were the first car there, obviously, right?
Yeah.
And somehow we totally didn't hear you say that. And then me and Melinda were watching the video that Tina posted, and we see that we're like, how did we miss that? You literally drove right by us. That was like the best thing ever.
It's because you had one window open on this side that you didn't even hear.
I guess so, but
yeah.
I was like, how did we miss that? But yeah, that was great.
Dude, I don't know how I pull off half the stuff. I don't even try, really, to do half the goofy crap I do. It just happens that way, and then people are like, why did you do that? I don't know. It came to me.
Yeah.
Me and my brother have that same problem. My brother Michael, oh my god, if he ever comes on the show. But like me and him have that exact same problem. We do random stuff that everyone laughs at. Like, why did you think of that? I don't know. I just thought of it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys coming by. My sister was already over. We were barbecuing, just a little family thing.
Yeah.
Our friends Kevin and Melissa, Jericho from the Geekcast, and his son Remy. Min, Tez's fiance, came by as well. It was great to see her. I was very surprised. She's doing pretty good. Having said that, Tez, your birthday would have been this Friday. We'll be celebrating your honor.
Yeah.
Happy birthday in advance, my man. And then, of course, some family friends of mine.
Happy birthday.
Some family friends of mine, Pat and Brenda, who happen to know Mike's older sister. Lo and behold, they go to the same church. But they've been basically like my second parents for me, raising me, helping like my parents out since I was a kid. I've known them forever. So, hope I didn't forget anybody. I think that was everybody.
It was chicken wing and
Nori. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, chicken wing and Nori. Chicken wing, by the way, the gift that he got me just came in the mail. It was an Animal Crossing T-shirt, and of course, awesome. Nori got me a Zelda T-shirt. That was yeah.
Because when we were meeting up, when I saw them, I was like, dude, even when I saw Mike, I was like, it feels like I haven't actually seen you guys in forever. Like I saw it, I was like, even though we do this, we've done this literally every week since this pandemic started, I feel like I had not seen Mike in actually a year.
It's funny, Tommy, because you said that, you're like, I haven't seen you in person in like a year, and I was like, what are you talking about? We talk it. Oh yeah, in person.
Oh yeah, in person. We do this every week, but we never see each other in person.
You're right.
So.
I was like, I talk to you every week, but you're right. In person,
yeah. And then seeing JC and Tina and the kids, I was like, it's like I've never seen any of you people before until today.
I know. Jay's basically like, "Hello, Tommy. How are you doing?
Yeah,
I'd like to meet you, my friend."
Yeah.
It's overall been a nice weekend. I personally did get clearance from my GI doctor that I can now get the COVID vaccine. So
Yes.
scheduled to get that this week.
Awesome.
Finally.
I got microchipped this past weekend. So.
Nice. All right. So the government's going to hear all this.
Well, aside from my phone, iPod, computer, iPad, my wife's phone, the government has no way to track me whatsoever. So I haven't gotten it yet.
Yeah.
Actually, Tommy, I hate to tell you this, but I just heard the FBI guy jump in on my earpiece, and he said New Japan sucked, and I was like, "Whoa!" So, you got to hate her.
Apparently, I have beef with the FBI guys now. So okay, that's all good.
Yeah.
Whatever. Do what you do.
One of the coolest gifts I got was definitely this past from my sister, who threw the money down on Cameo. Got a little bit of help from Mike, by the way, on this one. And I'll just go ahead and play the video right now. Y'all take a look.
Yes.
Yo, what up, JC? This is Darby Allin. I'd like to wish you a happy 40th coming up. You know, you seem like a really awesome dude, loyal friend, kick a lot of ass for your wife and kids. I'd like to say thank you for all the love and support that you've given me in AEW over the last couple of years. Man, I wish you the best in your Crohn's disease. See, you've been battling that now for 3 years, and you won't give up. That's the shit I love to hear, my friend. So, yeah, man, today's the big day. Sting returns to the ring. Me and him are going to be battling Team Taz. Hope you're watching it, man. JC, keep kicking ass and stay strong.
So yeah, imagine my excitement and emotion when Darby Allin appears on the phone with a message to me. We think was on his way to a street fight with Sting. I don't know when they recorded that, but yeah.
You know what's funny is I marked out for you, so I have no idea what you did because I saw that and I marked the hell out. I was like, I don't know what JC did.
Okay.
I marked him.
Let's paint the picture. Like, I was already a little emotional from the parade. I didn't expect it.
Yeah.
I was just expecting a small barbecue, but you know, I got great family. I got great friends. I'm very blessed with that. I got to love my wife and kids. They're amazing. But yeah, I was a bit emotional getting that. I was probably almost as much of a mess as I was with the Big Swole video, but it was still pretty damn cool. And I sent that video to my dad. And, you know, my dad is he knows wrestling, doesn't watch it as much, but then he calls me and he's like, "What the hell? Sting is still around?"
In your dad's defense, that was the reaction of a lot of people when he saw it.
By the way, JC, has Tina told you exactly how the message and the stuff went down for that?
My sister told me she had they were trying to find somebody,
Right.
and I think Gail Kim was an option, but I'd already met her a few times. But you had mentioned Darby Allin's. Okay, he's on there, and she, you know, I think she typed up a little something. You had contributed for that as well, and then there's only a limit on characters, so she showed me how she had to abbreviate it down.
Okay. Yeah. So the part about, you know, we thought Gail Kim, but you know, we were kind of like, well, he's met her a bunch of times. You know, they've talked a lot, and so we were looking through it, and I was like, Darby Allin. I was like, I know you've become a big fan of Darby Allin since you started with AEW. But it's funny. So like Tina texted me, she's like, Mike helps. She's like, so she showed me what Jenny wrote to kind of start the message, and it's like, he's become a big fan of yours. And then she's like, I hope Tina doesn't mind me telling this, but she wanted Tina to kind of fill in some wrestling related stuff about it. But Tina was like, I don't really watch AEW as much as you guys. And I was like, it's cool. I got this. So I don't know how much it got used, but one day we need to show that message because low key people don't know this. I can actually write pretty well.
I mean, we had some. We had Brother Fred in Central, and he kind of taught us to write, and Mr. Bain as well. So went to high school together. But yeah, so
yeah, but that was pretty cool. And then I loved it because, you know, he was giving you the message, and then he threw the little promo in for Revolution at the end. I was like, yeah, smart.
Yeah, it was one of those things that just works out.
I mean, you got to promote yourself.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he almost like he knew this was going to be everywhere, and that's out there now. You know,
I mean,
put it on this video.
That's going to be everywhere because, you know, we're going to just brag about it. Anyway.
So thank you again, guys. Thank you, everybody, for that. And then if you know me, you know I play a lot of Samurai Showdown. Thank you, SNK, as well, because they put out a balance patch the day after my birthday, and my all-time favorite characters got even better now.
Oh, nice.
So I'm just like, yeah, this is a great birthday present. So I have all the Sam Show, fellow Sam Show community out there. It's like, man, we're just, look at you getting all buff now. Your character's all great now. And I'm like, yeah, my character was crap when the game came out, so y'all just shut up. You know? But anyway, thank you again, guys. Everybody, my wife, Tina, all my friends, my sister, my parents. Birthday was very special. Turning 40 has actually been great so far. Never mind the money we just dropped on our new AC unit, but the house feels great, so that was another
Yeah.
So
As you do.
yeah, that's life of a homeowner, right? So
Yep.
well, let's talk wrestling. Even more wrestling. We mentioned AEW already with the Darby Allin video. You know what? Let's start with the street fight itself. I know it was. We're not going to kind of go in chronological order here, but I think it's worth mentioning that was really the cinematic surprise, I guess you could say. I was a little worried that the exploding barbed wire was going to be cinematic, and maybe it should have been considering the ending, but still, the way they did the street fight being cinematic, this was actually pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
And it did its job where they inserted it and allowed them to set up the barbed wire for the main event. But
yeah, I thought. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
I immediately got Lucha Underground vibes from that. I don't know why. I have never gotten that from any of the cinematic matches, but for this one alone, I was like, I immediately my brain went straight to Lucha Underground, and my second thought was, oh, I missed it when it was good. Seasons
my
1 and
first
2. Anyway.
My first thought when they kind of start walking into the the warehouse or whatever, I was like, it's the warehouse from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1. I was like, he's gonna have to collect all the tapes and all the different.
Yeah,
Mike did look like that.
Mike and I were doing like a little watch party watching it, and I was sitting there thinking, oh man, what if freaking Darby Allin comes in like a half pipe, does like a 900 right into the ring, just starts doing some shit, you know? I mean, that'd be crazy, you know? I mean, they relaunched Tony Hawk Pro Skater. But
and now when you say that, all I can hear is the Superman song from that soundtrack.
A couple of things. How cool is it for Ricky Starks, who we've known for a while, has wrestled all over this area for a good time, is now on AEW wrestling against Sting, for one, and two, how much of a big deal is it for Darby Allin that even Sting had the half Sting and the half Darby face paint? That they both damn cool.
If there's a bigger sign of faith in your career, I don't know what it is. I mean, not only just that, but like the fact that even though they lost, Starks was the one who took the Scorpion Death Drop from Sting. I mean, come on, that's kind of a badge of honor you get to wear for the rest of your life. I really don't care what people say. It's like it's just a big deal. I mean, for Ricky, for a guy who put in all his time here in Texas, he deserves it. So I couldn't be happier for the guy. Watching him from opening card of ACW and Inspire to a cinematic match with Sting in AEW. I mean, that's not a bad rise in your career. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a good little steady incline, I think.
And I'm sure he liked that better than the Ryback one. So
Yeah,
got that
definitely.
No, but I was a little worried when they brought the ring out, and you're kind of like, they're going to make this a match inside there. But with everything they did and everywhere they went through and used all the different things was really awesome. And then they just kind of gradually brought it back to the ring. So it did wind up being as, having the ring as part of it, and the referee was not as weird as I thought it was going to be, because they were allowed to go out into the warehouse and use a bunch of stuff and throw people. I mean, I don't know how many times you thought someone was going to get thrown through a window because they were slamming them into the wall right next to it.
Yeah.
Then of course there's a thing at the end, but I was like, no, it was very entertaining. I enjoyed it.
It kind of reminded me, like, where you said they started in the ring but kept going all around it before they finally got back to the ring. Like, when Stone Cold against Dude Love and The Rock, and I think both of these were at Backlash or Backlash near, and like it's like they would leave the ring for like 45 minutes for a street fight. It was like, okay, is this actually going to end in the ring, or is this a false count anywhere match? I can't tell anymore. And so finally get back to the ring. So,
yeah, exactly. They did pretty well.
Yeah, I think for like I said, for Sting's age and considering what he probably can and can't do in the ring, that was the best way to go. So
Yeah,
I know a lot of people were worried about that, but that worked for me.
I mean, we kind of had this discussion after WrestleMania and the Boneyard match with the Undertaker, thinking, if he has matches like this that are cinematic and a little bit more time, he could, in a way, extend his career a bit.
Yeah.
Now, I hope not all of Sting's matches are like this. We know he signed a multi-year deal, kind of a part-time thing, not going to be wrestling as much. But the only reason I don't want all of his matches to be cinematic is because I know there was a limited audience, but how many people bought a ticket expecting to see Sting live and might have been disappointed that it was just a cinematic? They didn't get to see him there in person.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I
think when fans start coming back on a regular basis, you'll get that again. But we'll see.
But in all fairness, he's also showed up on Dynamite pretty much every week, so it does suck if you specifically to the pay-per-view, but it's not like he's never showing up. He is showing up on a regular basis.
And maybe because the pay-per-views in the same place as Dynamite, it's not as bad. But obviously, when things open up again, things get back to normal.
They start getting back on the road. Then
when they start traveling, you can't really do this with a big name like that, So, but we'll see just how much the cinematic trend continues once the pandemic kind of goes away. The next match I was wanting to talk about was the ladder match, Fate of the Revolution. A couple things that stood out to me. One, the literal brass ring.
That looked weird. I will admit that also looked weird. It was very. A friend of mine made a Sonic the Hedgehog joke, and I was like, yeah, that fits.
I was gonna say someone's gonna video edit every time someone took a bump and Photoshop rings flying out like Sonic the Hedgehog and the effect and everything. Yeah.
If I had better editing skills, I would absolutely spend the next week doing that. I'm not even remotely kidding. So,
I mean, if I had the time, I could. But second part of that was Ethan Page's. First of all, it's good to see he got another heart. He got a transplant. It's back up. It's sewn up. They did a good job covering that scar, and he was able to make his AEW debut. So
before we go further,
before we go further,
let us remind ourselves that Impact Wrestling has the highest body count of any wrestling promotion out there. I mean, because he was dead and they killed Allie. I still haven't seen Allie again. I see the buddy who looks a lot like her, but they still killed Allie. So
here's what happened. Let me explain what happened here. So Ethan Page probably signed this contract before his Impact one was out. So he's already on the healthcare plan that AEW has since they're full-time employees. My thought process is like, okay, emergency surgery, like we're covering this. Tony Khan's like, we got to do this. I invested money in him. So you got the best doctors, got him a new heart. Maybe they resurrected the old one before the Karate Man ate it or something. I have no idea. And got it in there. I mean, you couldn't even see the scar. It was amazing. So I'm just happy to see the man alive.
Wow.
That's why AEW is here, to bring back to life properly all the people that die on Impact Wrestling. That's really what it comes down to. So,
does anybody know where Papa Shango is? Maybe he used a little bleeding to help him out there.
Maybe that's the AEW health plan, right?
I assume Papa Shango was training the Fiend and Alexa Bliss so they could keep cursing.
Well, yeah, clearly.
That's what I assumed he was. So.
The black liquid book, right? Power. So.
None of us picked the winner of this one, but Scorpio Sky wins, and he's getting a shot against Darby Allin tomorrow, as of our recording, on Dynamite. So I'm actually looking forward to that match. That should be very interesting.
Yeah, that should be good. And I was a little shocked because I felt like he had gotten a little push maybe back in mid-2020 when he was getting some single matches away from SCU, and then it kind of died down. Like he when do you have a title match or a?
He had a title match with Cody.
So,
but
there you go.
But you know what? I think that was because they were going to push Brody to win the TV title when he did, and then of course he started getting sick, and of course they gave it back to Cody and everything in the dog collar match. So I'm part of me thinks that if Brody was still with us, God I wish, that it would have been him and Scorpio Sky, because
maybe
Scorpio
that was
Sky
it,
would have. Because either Scorpio Sky or Darby Allin would have jumped in that picture more blatantly, like would have been more the centerpiece. That's another thing. That's always my thing with the booking of AEW is like so much had to change on the fly last year. It was like I think that's one reason I give him such a break is because so much had to change on the fly. So
and they adjusted so well to it. It still kept the ratings up regardless. So. Now, of course, we know Scorpio Sky is a part of SCU. They were involved with the tag team situation. This is kind of we're going to basically talk 2 matches at once here. Talking the Casino Tag Team Royale, which was won by Phoenix and Pac, basically a 15-team battle royale. And they're going to take on the Young Bucks, who right before that had just beaten Chris Jericho and MJF in a match. So there's a lot to this. Phoenix and Pac, I think, is a great team to challenge the Bucks. Have they said when that match is going to be? I don't think it's going to be tomorrow, is it? Or is
no, tomorrow is Phoenix versus Matt, I think.
Okay, so that might be something like for later on down the line, but
another like special Dynamite episode or something.
MJF and Jericho say something interesting that something needs to change. Obviously, we'll see what they talk about here, but I thought maybe Jericho and MJF might have been the best chance to beat the Bucks. Obviously, that didn't happen. But could y'all see Phoenix and Pac, the way they pretty much dominated that battle royale, taking out the Young Bucks for the titles?
Yeah, I think they could. So here's the thing with the Death Triangle. I don't see why any of the 3 of them can't be a single star. I don't see why any of the 2 of them combinations could be tag teams. Can be a tag team, and work that out. I know everyone's always saying, the Lucha Bros. Well. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but we've seen the Lucha Bros a million times. There's nothing wrong with them as a tag team, but we know how good they are. Pac and Phoenix, though, are also good together, just the 2 of them. So, if they want to be, if this book is leading to them be tag team champions, I'm okay with that. And to me, this is different from like other occasions where 2 random single stars become tag champions, because at least those 2 have been in a group together for at least a year, so that's different. So
and I mean, Phoenix is on like a heck of a match. Not necessarily wins, but he is just putting on stellar match after stellar match, and like Pac, I mean, he's right up there in all honesty with Mox and with Omega, and I mean, if he had not been stuck in England for a big part of this quarantine, like you said, I think, I know they had the Death Triangle going, but I think he would still regularly kind of be around that heavyweight title picture. I mean, he's clearly just got that look about him, and the brutality he has in matches. So yeah, definitely those 2 together. I like the Bucks, but I hate to say it like this, they're kind of the same thing all the times too, and then I wouldn't mind actually seeing something like that happen. So
I keep seeing like this image in my mind of after whenever like the Bucks and Kenny lose their respective belts, I keep seeing this image in my mind of them like not having them for years, because it's like they're going to start fading more and more to the like background, which is why I'm thinking like they have the titles now, but in truth. And because even they even pointed this out during before last week on Dynamite when Ryo Mizunami won the tournament going into her match with Sheeta. Sheeta's actually the longest running champion in the whole company right now.
Yeah. Yes, she is.
Everyone else is complaining about the Bucks and Omega have the belts. Yeah, but Sheeta's has had her belt longer than all of them, and Darby Allin. So I mean, I get it. Those 2, the CEOs are basically champions, but. Let's give it for the women's champ who's had it the longest. So,
well, you mentioned it there, Hikaru Shida, someone else. Who's going to beat her?
I don't know.
At this point, it's tough. Yeah.
Okay, so I need to go ahead and kind of like brag on that match a bit, because I knew it was going to be good. To me, that exceeded my expectations. Her and Mizunami, because it looked like she had to damn near kill Mizunami to keep her down, because it was like everything She'd hit her with, Mizunami was kicking out, and I was like, bam, how bad do you want this belt? I at this point kind of just give it to her because she's like, I hope you're trying to kill me. It's the only way you're going to keep me down for 3 because I was like, fam, are you? How badly do you not want to lose to her, or is it really the belt that you're after? So I just think that was a good, like, hard hitting Joshi match, and
definitely.
So I at this point, like you said, who's going to beat Cheetah? Short of shenanigans, I honestly don't know.
I mean, I think given the picture right now, I would say the 2 biggest threats would be Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker, of course. Because obviously Britt would have the heel stuff with Rebel always interfering, which continues.
Yeah.
Which continued in the pre-show or the buy-in tag match.
Right.
And then Thunder Rosa is just like I think they really like her, and is she still under contract to NWA technically?
I think yes, yes, she
Right.
is because she mentioned that the other day. So she's still technically under contract with them, but I think Billy Corgan is still all for this cross promoting of talent.
Sure.
I believe she has like a partial contract with AEW, so she's basically getting paid, as she works for both.
Because they have a pay per view coming up too, right? Like in a couple weeks.
I think so.
I think they just got it restarted, right? And stuff.
Yeah. I think they're re-upping, which I'm glad. I thought they were closing, and I was going to be heartbroken. But
right.
when they said we're back, I was like, oh, thank God. I had a small heart attack because I thought they were closing.
The couple announcements they did make before we talk about the main event. Double or Nothing will be Memorial Day weekend, May 30th. They're putting this one on a Sunday again. I guess the Sunday thing worked out, and it was quite by accident for them to have a Sunday pay-per-view. But they're putting it on Sunday that weekend, which is probably because I think there's a UFC that weekend, so they made a smart move not to try and compete with them.
That's smart.
And now, after we recorded, they announced a Hall of Fame-worthy talent was going to be coming to AEW, signing a deal. Lo and behold, it was Christian Cage.
As you pointed out, JC,
you're on your own.
Well, unfortunately, not that. That's WWE. But
whatever. I'm so happy.
As JC pointed out, they used
his old music from his TNA days.
Yeah.
The same countdown sound and the original music, and it came out, didn't say a word, signed the contract.
Which that one's like an Evanescence ripoff.
It
is.
Yeah.
like the way that DDP's was basically
Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Same way like that. Before we get to the main event, though, also we forgot the big money match.
Oh yeah. Paige is just. I think they are grooming him to be the guy to eventually beat Omega. I think Mike and I discussed this as well when we were watching it.
Yeah.
This is kind of the start of it, getting him a little bit more exposure.
Yeah.
And he's starting to, I guess you could say, come out of his shell a little bit more charisma-wise. He needs to kind of start building that up again. And this is one way to do it. Take a guy's like a quarter of this guy's money for the year. So I mean that's a lot of beer he can buy, right? So
I hope they go back to Chili's. I hope that's BT. They go back to Chili's.
Yeah. So it looked like maybe he wasn't going to be part of the Dark Order, but they keep helping him out, and then he keeps celebrating with them. So if eventually down the road, because we also talked about this, I think too, on the pay-per-view, the Dark Order, and granted it's through some unfortunate circumstances, but they're faces now.
Yeah.
Like they were supposed to be this big evil thing, but it was starting to do a little bit for John Silver himself, and then obviously with what the passing of Brody Lee, you can't hate them. So to me, they're the group that tries to neutralize Omega's version of Bullet Club when Hangman and Omega eventually go at it. And that's what I'm looking forward to. And I love the tweet they posted. So after the show, AEW put a little video, a small 30-second video of the celebration that Hangman had with the Dark Order at the end of the match. And then Hangman quote tweeted it with, "Maybe the big money was the friends we made along the way."
Wah wah. Sorry.
I know.
I don't know about that. Yeah.
Speaking of Dark Order, So I read something Tony Khan said. He said like one reason for bringing Ethan Page in, apparently from the sound like he wants to bring him in as a heel, because he said with the Dark Order you essentially just he said essentially now I just have 8 faces, like I have a whole face. They like you said, it's not their fault. It's not because they were just they were trying to be heels, but then tragedy struck, and then and now they come out with an 8-year-old kid who probably has more in-ring ability than probably most 18-year-old kids. Who I still am saying maybe he's the guy who'll be Kenny Omega in 10 years. But anyway,
maybe right?
But I do think it's just sometimes you just there's no way you're gonna boo the Dark Order anymore at this point. Not unless they do something super heelish, and I don't even think they have it in them right now. Like not at this point.
Not for a while. Yeah, definitely not for a while.
Not for a while. Yeah. So and honestly, this is me thinking. I would actually like it if Hangman turned heel again against them, because that would get him mega heat. Like it's like. At this point, it's all the Dark Order is like kicking a puppy. Like there's just literally no difference, except for these puppies wear masks. Now, I don't know if you guys saw BTE this week, but Maki Ito, who I proudly admit I simp for, guest starred because they were saying they're saying we can't replace Anna, and she walked in saying "What's up, motherfucker?" and she threw middle fingers. They said Maki. So And I was like, well, that's about everyone else's reaction whenever she enters the room, so I'm okay with that. And this is just me hoping Maki Ito sticks around, because honestly, for hilarity's sake, she is who I would want to beat Shida, and if for no other reason than to piss off Jim Cornette, just so he can absolutely lose what's left of his mind over her being a champion in America. So
yeah. Can't argue with anybody that pisses off Jim Cornette, right? So now, the AEW Championship, exploding barbed wire match. First off, the match was great.
Really.
I've never seen any of these matches like live or a somewhat live setting, like as it was happening, with explosives, which pretty smartly rigged. If you hit one of the 3 sides, it went off. I think they went through one of the little barbed wire mines, and that was, they really just triggered like a bottle rocket. It felt like nothing too crazy. But the way they explained the rules was that everything was going to blow up after 30 minutes. But if the match was over by then, it was over. Like they could cut it off. That was what kind of threw me off. But the match itself was. We knew that Omega was going to get the rest of everybody else involved from the Inner Circle, not the Inner Circle,
Bullet Club.
Excuse me. So many stables. Is this what New Japan's like? I can't keep my stable straight.
It happens. It happens for like a good dude. Okay, I'll tell you. All Japan just did some crazy stuff. I'll tell you later.
But I liked how it was smartly used. Throwing them into the ropes. They built it up so that it wasn't like just a gimmick. Even to the point where Moxley somewhat kicked out of a one-winged angel by reaching over and just triggering an explosive to give them.
Yeah, that was. I was like, does that count?
I don't think it counts as a kick out. It saves the spirit of the move because no one's ever kicked out of it yet.
I think it counts as not a kick out, but like a kind of like a stopping the referee's count because it touched the ropes and like everybody backed up. So
has anybody ever done that? Has anybody been hit with the one-winged angel but grabbed the rope?
I think. Honestly, I don't know. I don't think that's happened.
But you're right. It was a clever way to do it, and the match was going really well up until.
From a psychology-wise, from a pure build-up, tension, everything, this is one of the best matches I've seen this year.
Yeah.
I'm not going to blame what happened afterward on them because they put together something really good. Yeah. I'm not going to blame it on Eddie Kingston, who did his acting right. What they were trying to build up with that.
Someone put. I saw 2 tweets I agree with. Someone said Eddie Kingston needs an Oscar for that, and he needs a world title shot. And I said yes to both. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, here's the thing.
What's up?
If it goes off the way it's supposed to, that's an even better story because Moxley and Kingston were friends, and then Kingston wanted the shot, and they put each other through some hell, and Kingston was after him. But, when he thought, kayfabe, that they were going to let the ring explode with him, he goes down to try and help him. It was kind of funny because I don't remember if it was. I remember which one of the commentators was like, "You're gonna have to put him on your shoulders and carry him out," and it didn't look like it was do that. So had the ring explode or not exploded, but it looked more grand.
Had a better pyro effect because, like, honestly, the pyro effect when they hit the ropes those few times,
right?
That was better than what we got at the end. Like, if they had triggered those as well as the final bit explosion, I mean,
actually, the worst joke I heard was Cody Rhodes had more pyro in his entrance.
That's true.
But that would have been a good story of Eddie going out to save his friend. By the way, Eddie Kingston was a guy. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago when I couldn't think of a wrestler's name, and it was Eddie Kingston. By the way,
Great. Now we go back and watch this.
Go back.
Last week, which episode that was?
Yeah.
But it would have been great had it been a little more grand. But it happens.
Yeah.
Botchamania.
Yeah, it'll be on Botchamania. Kane's entrance, it was not. I mean, that could have been bigger, but it brought the hype down for what was otherwise a great match.
Yeah.
And we'll see if that impacts our WrestleCast ratings from here. As far as the results itself, Tina only picked one match and she didn't get it right, so she went 0-1. Tommy and I went 4-3, and Mike 6-1 on his AEW picks.
Better than the last two shows, so I'll take it.
If he was 7-0, if he'd have pulled his heads, I'd have been like really how?
Yeah, it was the ladder match.
Yeah,
but
I don't think any of us got that right, did we?
No one got Scorpio Sky.
Okay.
So on to our WrestleCast ratings: 0 to 5. 5 being WrestleMania 17, 0 being December to Dismember. I'm going to start this off. I'm going to say 4.5 out of 5. Overall, a great show. Some of the best matches. The championship match was great. The street fight was a great cinematic. The ladder match was pretty awesome. I thought the brass ring was such a nice touch. And maybe a few results here and there, but it was like it wasn't the best show that they've had, but it was a great start to the year for them. Yeah. And obviously, they're starting to build some things up. Double or Nothing is the next big one. Unfortunately, they had planned to have it in Vegas. It's going to be back in Jacksonville, but it looks like as things get better, maybe by the end of the year, they're back on the road and doing things. But 4.5 out of 5. Not every match was spectacular, but they were all good, worth the watch. And yeah, on some level, maybe the botched pyro at the end brought it down a little bit. Come on, guys. You technical guys got to test this out and have some backup explosives. But, I guess it's one way to make sure people don't get hurt, right? So
yeah.
Tommy, what's your rating on this one?
4.5 as well. I think I probably would have been 4.75 had it not been for the ending for me, honestly. But as much as I love AEW, that's one of the times where you're just like, we gotta just take this L. It happened, and we just gotta live with it. So I mean, hey, there are bigger L's to take, but honestly. People who are ragging on are just like the ones who want to say, "Ha! Finally, they did something so horribly wrong that everyone has to admit." Yeah, but okay. So we all admit this was bad. They're not going to close tomorrow, guys. That's just the bottom line. That wasn't bad enough to where Tony Khan's going to come out on Dynamite tomorrow on Dynamite on TNT and say, "Well, guys, our main event did not end the way we wanted to, so we're closing down the whole company. Vince beat us, and more power to him. You guys have a good day." That's not going to happen. It's no matter how they deal with it, I would rather they just admit to the mistake. They're probably not going to, but I was like, however they deal with it, whatever. We're going to all move on, and this will just be our talk, and this will be everyone's evidence against them for the next forever. Like we all have against WCW. So it's just one of those things.
One of the best comments I actually saw was, "Give Eddie Kingston a mic and one promo, and he'll make it all better." And I was like, you know what?
Actually, what? 100% a fact. 100%.
All right, Mike, what's your rating for the show here?
I think I'll go ahead and go with you guys, 4.5. Again, it was a really good show all around, and if you stop and think about it, that the thing, that the pyro at the end wasn't even really part of the match. It was after the match, right? The
Right.
match was over. Again, like we said, the match was great, right? It was just that little thing at the end because, it was going to make Omega and the Good Brothers look like really big heels. It was apparently going to give Eddie Kingston this huge face turn, to try and save his friend. And, it didn't work out. But otherwise, pretty solid show. Ladder match was great. I like Hangman. We didn't really talk about Best Friends versus Miro and Sabin, but hopefully it's time for Miro to move on from that and to get into a little bit more bigger stuff.
Yeah.
Again, we've talked about this too. The Best Friends, with Trent being out, it's an unfortunate injury, and Orange Cassidy in the tag team isn't bad, but it's just really, to me, not the best place for him.
Yeah, it's not 100% freshly squeezed him being in a tag team.
Right. Yeah, again, like everything else was solid, and like y'all said, not the best they've ever put on, but I think really solid for what they were doing, and just that little bit at the end, but it is what it is.
All right. Well, obviously, our overall rating for that is 4.5.
Oh, did you check the math?
Yeah, I did. Okay, yes, I'm correct. Okay.
I'm telling you, man, we gotta get Scott Steiner on the show to check our math every single time to make sure we're doing it.
Oh my god, that would be the best thing ever.
I hope we can actually interview him one day and have him do that for the show. Like, that would be the greatest thing ever.
Well, that's a great segue, because speaking of Scott Steiner's math, that could spell disaster for us at Sacrifice. So we're going to be talking about Impact Sacrifice right now. It's coming back as an Impact Plus.
I actually didn't mean to do that. Wow.
Did you not, or did you completely?
Yeah.
I'll never tell.
One final thing. Thank you again, AEW Revolution, for a great show on my birthday. Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Now, with Sacrifice right now, they've only announced 5 championship matches. The way Impact likes to do things with these Impact Plus shows is they'll maybe announce another 4 or 5 matches the night before, and there'll be a build up to it, and they'll kind of just throw it on there. So we're going to talk about those 5 title matches, one of which has a lot of importance now as it relates to AEW, and that, of course, is the main event. But starting with the X Division Championship, champion TJP against Ace Austin. This one, I have a feeling Tommy's a bit conflicted on here, so I'm going to ask him to go last.
Oh, thank God.
I thought
you were going to say first.
Thought about it. I'm just going to go ahead and say TJP is going to retain. I've liked his new attitude since getting to Impact, first as Manic and now as this. This is his title. I think he has a lot of pride in, so I'm going to go with TJP here. Mike, what about you?
Yeah, I think I'll go with TJP too. He seems to be on a nice little run here. And I don't know, not that they wouldn't necessarily do a lot of title changes. I mean, that's 5. That's pretty much all the matches. But I don't know. I don't see a lot of them yet. Kind of looking at things, so I'm gonna go with TJP.
All right. And Tommy, what about you?
Well, looks like I may be a little wolf in this. I'm thinking Ace Austin, only because he's still if he still has the big backup of oh man, I'm forgetting now. See Mike, now I'm forgetting names again.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Fulton.
Matt Fulton, yes. Matt Fulton.
If he has him have his back, I don't know. I think this might be where TJP loses it, but I'm not sure. It could be though, so we'll see.
Okay. Knockouts Tag Team Championship. Fire and Flava defending against Jordan Grace and Jazz. Should be a great title defense here.
Yeah.
Tommy, you're picking first this time. So what do you
Crap! I'll have to go last on this one too. Cause see, I have a heart and a head pick with this one. I really do. I'm conflicted. Because there's the logical one, which I think will be what happens because of how gracious of a person Jazz is. And there's the one I want because she just deserves to have more accolades attached to her name because she's Jazz, and I don't think she's talked about near enough. This is also because I've met her personally several times, and she's the sweetest person. So I'm going to be probably 100% wrong and go with my heart on this one, and I'm going to pick Jordan Grace and Jazz. So,
all right.
Live by this sword, die on this sword. I don't care because and it's again, I hate having to keep referencing with this. It's nothing against Kiera and Tasha. It's really not. They're a great tag team, but it just, Grace and Jasmine. First of all, that was a team I didn't know I wanted until I saw it. But and secondly, it's like, Jazz said, Jazz is probably this year's probably like her last run, and then of course she'll be at the school all the time, and so, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna take Fire and Flavor on this. Good young tag team champions, and they're very early in their run too. So a lot of these matches are going to build up that title reign, and I think they're going to hold on for a few months before they potentially lose them. So
yeah.
Mike, what about you?
So I'm going to go with Jordan Grace and Jazz too, just because I'd like to see that, and also because I'm not 100% sure if this is true or not, but I read stuff online where Kiera Hogan keeps claiming that other WWE females have copied her style, which is kind of a strange thing to throw out there in this age of wrestling. Apparently, she accused Sasha Banks and there's one other one.
I've heard that too. It's like, oof.
Yeah, everybody kind of copying everybody though on some level.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's also, she's not related to this, but I know like Allison Kay, I think used to accuse Charlotte of copied her with some Peacock stuff, and I was like, Charlotte's just Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, and granted, everyone copies Ric Flair because he's Ric Flair. So
yeah, of course. All right, World Tag Team Championship. The Good Brothers defending it against FinJuice. Mike, what do you got for this one?
I'd really like to see FinJuice win. I think that'd be cool. I think it's going to be a while for the Good Brothers to kind of keep. I don't know, what are we calling them? Bullet Club America, Bullet Club Impact,
Bullet Club USA, I guess.
Bullet Club USA.
Bullet Club America isn't bad.
Yeah. I just think they're going to kind of keep them strong for a little bit longer. And it's pretty much like FinJuice's debut, right?
Yes, on Impact, yes, it is.
And then, I mean, like pay-per-view, yeah.
Yeah. Like their first big match.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go Good Brothers. I think it'd be cool to see FinJuice kind of upset, but I don't think it'll happen.
All right, Tommy, what about you?
I gotta go FinJuice. I have been on the bandwagon of Juice Robinson for so long. I've been on the bandwagon for David Finlay for a while now. Not as long as Juice, I will admit that. But I want to see them win, and more than anything, to me, I want it to be poetic justice. Like for me, having two guys who were essentially American, but not Bullet Club. Like how every single Gaijin or American goes to Bullet Club, and these two absolutely refused. I want to see these two who staunchly fought against Bullet Club all over the world, not just in Impact, but in New Japan and everywhere else, get this win. And also, I want to see some New Japan guys finally get some Impact goals, so we can so Impact can say, "Look, see, we made good, we did good, see, we're sorry for Okada-san. Send them back, please send them back to us. We'll do it right this time. We'll give him a world championship. He didn't have to wrestle for it." So,
Jesus, Swan, give him the belt. Just give it to him.
He's fine.
Like Swan, you have no idea what we did to this man 10 years ago, and we are all sorry. Here you go, Okada. We apologize for everything.
I'm gonna go with the Good Brothers here for this one. This Bullet Club USA thing with the Young Bucks and them keeping it. I think they're trying to own every bit of the tag team division right now. So now that being said, I'm not 100% sure this would be a clean finish. I think they're gonna set up something to where they're gonna be dealing with FinJuice for a good while, especially as hyped as they have been as a signing. So definitely not yet. So
what was Juice Robinson called in NXT again? What was his?
God,
anybody remember?
Feels so long ago. I don't even remember.
Oh wait, hold on. It's a very good question that it's sad that none of us have the immediate answer to.
Wasn't he like a big hippie or something?
Yeah,
because that's when he still had the dreadlocks.
Yeah.
Okay, well we'll move on. I'll fight CJ Parker.
CJ Parker.
Yep, that was it.
All right, on to the Knockouts Championship. Deonna Purrazzo defending against ODB. I'm going with Deonna here. I think she's going to tear it up. And honestly, if there's one wrestler that may eventually beat Hikaru Shida for the AEW title, I think it could be Deonna Purrazzo if they do some sort of title.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
So I'm going with Deonna here on this one. Mike, what about you?
Yeah, same. I'm gonna go with Deonna. I mean, I like ODB, but I feel like she's just kind of in that role for the most part to, to be an Impact, if you will, a TNA name that everyone knows, and so when Deonna beats her, it's worth a little something. But I wouldn't imagine with trying to build Deonna up that you would give ODB a run all of a sudden out of nowhere. So
yeah, Tommy, same for you. Or are you going with ODB?
No, I'm making it unanimous. I think ODB is like really. She's done it all, really. I mean, I wouldn't mind her having the belt. There's nothing wrong with her winning the belt, but it's not like she needs it. She's Hall of Fame material. She's just loud and drunk Hall of Fame material. But to be fair, so Stone Cold Steve Austin. But
not wrong.
Yep, I'm right.
So it's like. It's just great to see her in the ring again. I'm glad she, I don't know how long this run is going to last. I don't know if this is, if it's going to end at Sacrifice. I hope it doesn't. But it's just fun to see her in the ring because she's always tons of fun. Just like she just goes. She looks like out of any wrestler I've seen, it looks like she's the one who most consistently has a good time. So,
all right, and the Impact World Championship, which a few minutes before we started recording this, just got a little bit more important.
Yep.
Because the winner of this match between Rich Swann and Moose will not only retain or become the Impact World Champion, but will be facing Kenny Omega at Impact Rebellion on April 24th. Title versus title.
Also, I checked Twitter. They also said that they're going to unify the Impact World and the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. So, I mean, yeah, I just read that. I'm not kidding.
Who's your source?
Impact on their Twitter. I'm not kidding. Check. I just checked.
I thought I had heard that. I thought once they legitimized Moose's title that it was going to be title for title, like title for title this time.
Oh, I didn't know.
I thought I remember hearing that too, yeah.
Let's see.
Doesn't trust you, Tommy.
I'm not seeing it from Impact.
It's I'm looking at their Twitter right now.
No, there it is. Yeah, okay, now I found it. This was actually a promo on Impact today. They're going to unify the champ. No, okay.
It looks like
they're going to unify. Oh, they're going to unify the Impact World and the TNA Heavyweight Championships.
Yeah.
Right, which is what Moose has.
Okay, I thought you said they're going to unify with the AEW. I was like, that's
no. This match.
This match. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That threw me off. I was like, what? So, okay. Yeah, they're going to unify that title. Okay.
No, if I had read that, I'd have stopped us in the middle of whatever we were talking about to talk about that.
Yeah. Okay. Scared me for a minute. Some matches they have announced also for Sacrifice. Eddie Edwards versus Brian Myers. VDB versus Storm and Sabin.
Yep.
And Decay versus Reno Scum. So.
I love how Black Taurus is in Decay. That makes me so happy.
On to this match now that is going to unify the Impact World and TNA World Championships. Swan versus Moose. I'm picking this because I kind of want to see this matchup because it has been hyped up. It's not to say I don't want to see the other one because I think that could happen, but I think I would like to see Swan versus Omega. No, I don't want to see Swan versus Omega. I want to see Moose versus Omega. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Because that's the point. Who do I want to see more face Omega? And that's what I'm trying to figure out in my mind. And I think right now I would like to see Moose do it. I think Moose has really a very underrated talent, especially the way he has handled his Impact career. And I think it's time for him to kind of run with it. And could you imagine him holding the titles, unifying them, and beating Omega at Rebellion? I think he's...
And if that's actually belt for belt, if him holding both belts in both companies, that'd be insane.
That's one way to elevate him as a big name. I mean, we were watching him in Ring of Honor, and he was such an up-and-comer then. And he's definitely done something with his career in Impact. especially recently, putting himself in the title picture. So,
You want to know what I keep forgetting until I really think about it is the fact that I did meet him that WrestleMania weekend we were out there. Is like because I keep forgetting that because WrestleCon blew my mind so much I keep forgetting who I met. And I was like, I think I met Moose before, and I was like, when did I do that? Oh yeah, it was that weekend. So
yeah, that's not to say Swan's not a worthy champion. I think right now Moose is just on another level, and it's something that I think he's worked very hard for. I'd like to see it. So I'm going with Moose. I'm locking that in. I think I'm setting my mind. I want that. I was literally back and forth here. So, Mike, where do you feel on this one?
I mean, it's definitely two different matches with Omega. You know, him and Swan.
Man, that was like worlds difference.
Much more athletic, and I think Omega would kind of be the favorite. Moose would be a real different challenge for him. And I think I'm going to go with your thinking. I think. I mean, I don't want to disrespect Rich Swann in any way. He's had a great run, but I think Moose versus Omega would have a lot more buzz to it. Champion versus champion for that Rebellion pay-per-view. So I'm going to go Moose too, I think.
All right. And Tommy?
Yeah, I got to go. Actually, I was going Moose before this only because of how they've been building it up. Now, I will say this. Someone in one of the groups I'm in asked it, like, do you feel like Swan's kind of like got the short end of the stick during his title run? And I said, and my response was, the whole time, no. The past couple of months, maybe. Just because of like it seems like the conversation has gone away from him and more toward, and not even just as far as AEW goes, but it's like the conversation more towards Moose more than anything. Yeah. So I will say that I'm going with Moose for now, but I'm also hoping that somewhere down the line he'll be like Swan will be like a multiple time world champion as he deserves to be. So I'm hoping that'll be the case. So
all right. Well, those are our picks for Impact Sacrifice. This weekend we'll have more details. This is going to be an Impact Plus exclusive. And this is their last show before their next actual normal pay-per-view. I say normal because there'll be a pay, not just an Impact Plus thing, which will be Rebellion in April 24th. So, and I'm wondering if there's going to be a lot more of this AEW versus Impact sort of side of it. Big Swole, anybody? Maybe? Who knows? We'll see. I mean, she did tweet out saying, Diamante LAX said, shit, we're going to have some fun too. And she kind of retweeted that. So maybe. So now, before we do close this out, give you a bracket update. A lot of details have just emerged about WWE Network's move to Peacock television, the streaming service. A lot of questions have been asked since the announcement. How are they going to do this? What's this going to entail? And most of these answers have been cleared up. We're going to kind of run down to it. So, the official date that WWE Network will launch will be on Peacock will be March 18th. And the way it's going to be set up is that WWE is basically going to have its own Peacock section, much like if you go to like Disney Plus or anything. There's like Disney, Pixar, whatever. You're going to have the NBC. There's going to be a WWE section you'll be able to go to, and that's basically going to house the WWE Network. While that starts on March 18th, the standalone WWE Network app that we currently have, the service we currently have, is going to officially go dark on April 4th, which is kind of funny because that's when I was due to get charged for another month of WWE Network, and I guess it pans out because I've been getting charged the 4th of every month since I registered day one. So it kind of comes full circle, right? They want to make sure I get the full 30 days, I guess.
Yeah.
So what that means for Fastlane is that you can watch Fastlane either on Peacock or on the WWE Network. It's going to be available on both. So whichever one you want to choose, or if you're signed up for both, do it at the same time. Who cares? And a nice little way they've sweetened up the deal to get WWE Network subscribers in. And because I think with the way they're going to slowly bring the library in, is if you're a new Peacock Premium subscriber, you'll get half off your first 4 months of subscription. The kicker on that, though, is if I'm reading it right, you get to pay the $10 up front and you get their 4 months paid for. Why that's important is because at launch, the network on Peacock is only going to have pay-per-views for the last calendar year. That's it right now. They're going to start bringing all the content in phases, as far as like they're going to have some of the original shows, but they'll start bringing in the rest of the archive in phases. And by the time you hit SummerSlam, which is 4 months after this launches, you'll have the entire WWE Network archive on Peacock. So maybe that's why they're giving you just half off for those 4 months, because you're only getting half of WWE Network for those 4
Not
months.
even half.
Not even half to start. But a lot of the
Yeah.
original shows on there. You're still going to get NXT the very next day after it airs. And per TV contracts, which is currently how it works on WWE Network right now, you'll get Raw and SmackDown 30 days after they originally air on the network. It's the same thing that goes on right now. They can't really do anything about that. So now, guys, I know it is a cheaper option for most people, and you're getting much more. You know, Mike, you've talked about how big a fan of The Office you were, and a lot of people were up in arms about that leaving Netflix, and it's on Peacock now. So your thoughts on at least the initial news? Is it worth waiting the 4 months to basically get what you're paid for now? So
I mean, it's a little disappointing to see some of this.
yeah,
You know, it's. I mean, I don't know all that goes into it, but I feel like if you have a plan for this, that you should have things better set from day one. You know, I get there's a chance to get a cheaper price, and then, like you said, the first 4 months you get half off. But I don't know. It just seems like to not have their list of old pay-per-views and stuff like that on day one is just a little unfortunate. I have looked through Peacock Premium, and like you said, they have The Office, they have Parks and Rec, they have John Wick 1 and 2, they have like the first 3 Harry Potter movies. You know, they have role models, so there is some good stuff on there. But some of this stuff, yeah, it's a little disappointing to get started by that and have to wait till SummerSlam to kind of get back to.
well, to be clear, I mean, they're going to phase shows in and old pay-per-views in.
Right. But I mean, to have it all, and then we talked about this, you know, a couple months ago when the announcement was first made. We have to see how the search and all the features that you had on WWE Network, are those going to be available as at the beginning, or are those going to be phased in? Will they, you know, how well will search functions work on Peacock? You know, maybe better. You would hope, but you don't know. So
Yeah.
got to have to wait and see on some things too.
Okay. Tommy, your thoughts on all this? I know we're all big fans of the independents, and this one kind of sticks out to me, is that WWE Network does have a section on their best of the independents. Do you think that library will also transfer over with the Peacock streaming service?
I see. The thing is, I'm doubtful of that because, you know, I don't know if that's something that they care about that much. You know, as far the NBC Peacock is what when I say they. I don't see this is really like, because like I like the streaming services and I like some of the other shows that are on Peacock and everything, but it's like, I don't know, this might be one of the cases where they're like, you know what, I might actually take the $10 and like get like Stardom World or something like that, because like it's like honestly, I only watch the newer stuff when it's happening, and if it's like there's matches I'm interested in, like I can't tell you how many times I rewatched Kofi Kingston win the WWE Championship. I mean, God knows I had that match on replay for like a solid 2 months. Yeah. But it's like, other than that, it's like, yeah, I like the newer stuff, but at the same time, I'm a nostalgia guy. I love the old stuff too. So that's the main thing I was watching. So this might be one of the cases that I do the same thing whenever there's a new game system out, aside from the fact that I can't never find one when they first come out. I wait a few months, see how it works, get all the reviews. How's it going? Have they fixed the bugs yet? Is it fixed? Okay, now I'm in. So I might end up just waiting, saving that money, and like come August. I might get WrestleMania. I might get ready for WrestleMania because I want to see how WrestleMania pans out, and I might just have to wait on everything else and like come back to it like come SummerSlam and see how they do, because it's like, you know, because honestly, I think the independent stuff was there because of guys like Triple H. I don't think Vince cares at all. Honestly, I really don't think he gives a damn. I think Triple H and some of the people who have gotten talent from there, who are booking talent from there, care about it, and they know the fans do too. I just don't see NBC caring that much about that. You know, I don't see them caring that much about that. This also worries me if that impacts their deal with, I think they were like purchasing or like buying the rights to Evolve or something like that, and I don't know how that works. So will Evolve still be part of it? So
they still have Evolve listed under that independent section, so we'll see how that pans out. You mentioned that before, though, like buy a new game system, new thing. Are there going to be glitches and bugs? That's I kind of follow that. I wait a year before I buy a console if I can. And that's kind of one thing that I've actually been looking forward to moving to Peacock is that hopefully this is a more stable service. Because ever since WWE revamped their Roku app for WWE Network, I'm always having connection issues with the Roku, especially when I'm watching it live.
I remember a few months back, they had some kind of other update on the app just across the board because I have it on my iPad. And they took something out, and I was like, really? You updated and you got rid of the one thing that was, I think it was like the search. No, you know what it was? It was the by year I think by year chronologically of the whole year and of each pay-per-view. They got rid of that feature. And I was like, really? You updated, you got rid of the one useful thing that was on here, and then the next update they put it back because I think everyone bitched about it. So I know people bitched about it because I was bitching about it. So it's me. I'm bitching. Anyway,
I'm looking at it more when I'm watching the live feed, especially in the pay-per-views. I'll constantly get a message that says we lost connection, go away, and then there's like an error that occurs. And that started when I think they got out of getting the help from Major League Baseball, and they switched up the entire look of the app and the way it's panned out. It's like I've had issues with that. So my hope is that with a big company like NBC, with them NBC Universal putting the money that they're putting into this, that they're going to actually make sure the connections are stable. Because I would hate to be a big point of a match and I lose connection, Yeah.
So. Another question I have: if we get the $9.99 full premium, like no commercial Peacock version, can I stop getting the WWE commercials for themselves that I have to watch in the middle of random?
That is so irritating. It's like, bro, we have the network. Why is there an unskippable commercial for the network that we're currently on?
Maybe that'll go away. Obviously, we can't do anything about it during the live streams itself. But yeah, I wonder if that would constitute as though. Yeah, right? Maybe that'll actually go away as well.
Like on some services or like if you're doing like maybe YouTube TV, when there's certain commercials that like I guess doesn't have the right to play, it'll be like a little, we'll return to your show in a little bit. Yeah. Maybe it's a commercial I can just get that for a few seconds because I'm like, I'm watching the pay-per-view. I don't need the commercial for the pay-per-view, yeah.
Unless you give me a commercial for something that's coming up or something, I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, it's obviously the rollout. There's probably a reason they're doing it, and the one that stands out to me is they don't want the whole damn thing to crash, because we know Network had those issues when they first launched. So that's got to be the first reason. But
is Peacock even a year old yet? That network?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Maybe it barely is. I can't remember.
Because I know NBC had something else recently, but then Peacock came up out of a sudden. I don't think that's a year old yet.
No, I don't think so.
That's kind of brave for them adding a whole nother, essentially, a library, but essentially another streaming service when theirs is even fully got that whole year under their belt yet.
Yeah, it was just July 15th.
July 15th. Okay.
That's right. Yeah. And then they're signed on to it for 5 years. So depending how this goes, and they're really using this to push their subscription numbers, we'll see after 5 years if they up and renew it. And we'll be going back to what we had before, So I will note that this is only affecting WWE Network customers in the United States. So around the world, they're still going to be, doing what they're doing, but it's going to go dark here. So
VPN?
Right. Maybe.
Man, dude, same. I was literally thinking that. And also I was like, why? Well, people in Japan, why would they care? They have like Japanese wrestling has as many streaming services for their wrestling as the rest of the world has for regular streaming services. It's there's
Netflix,
New Japan
Hulu,
World, Stardom World,
Disney Plus,
Paramount
Plus now, it's actually pretty good.
HBO Max. I actually want to get Paramount Plus. I'm not kidding.
I do have it. I signed up when they had it first year, 50% off. I caught it before they ended that promo. Okay. And for nothing else, is just for the reality TV archive, and for the fact that they're going to have like the Challenge All Stars on there exclusively, and I want to see how messed up the original Real World Class is a year later. 29 years.
You know what? Let me ask this. Do you know if Wild and Out is on there? I've been trying to figure out. Okay, it wins. I gotta
do they have all the old MTV stuff?
The only thing they're missing off of MTV that it pisses me off is Road Rules.
Really?
They don't have Road Rules, at least not yet. Yeah.
Do they have old like Spring Break Beach House stuff? Or
I have to look more into that. Maybe I have to search for Spring Break craziness.
Remember that time the NWO showed up on that?
Yes.
Wrestling related.
Nice. Nice. I like how you did that. Well, speaking more wrestling related, let's give you an update on the WrestleCast Spring Madness tournament.
Yes.
We're about 3/4 of the way done with the first round. And so far, all the favorites, all the higher seeds have won. The closest, well, not really the closest one, but RKO, Diamond Cutter, One Winged Angel, Canadian Destroyer, Sweet Chin Music, Vetter Breaker / Gringo Killer, Eat Defeat, The Sharpshooter, Go to Sleep, Styles Clash, Tombstone Piledriver, and the Stone Cold Stunner all won their matchups. But the 450 Splash and the Last Call / Code Red were a 50-50 split.
Oh.
They tied. So, in the grand tradition of how so many companies handle this, if there's ever a tie or a draw or whatever, in the second round, Stone Cold Stunner, 450 Splash, and Last Call Code Red will be a triple threat match to see who advances out of that bracket.
Nice.
So, get around to that. We'll see what happens. So, remaining matchups on the first round, the Shooting Star Press against the Curb Stomp, the Jackhammer against the Burning Hammer, the Frog Splash against the Coquina Clutch, and the Eclipse / O-Face against the Angel's Wings. You can vote on those right now. They're going to be available for 24 hours. We'll have those up shortly after we finish recording. And hopefully this will be posted by the time you guys can, they're still out there. So, but check it out right now. Vote for the rest of the first round and look forward this weekend. We will begin the voting on the second round matchups, the Sweet 16, if you will. So, guys, your thoughts on some of the matchups right now in the bracket so far?
I mean, for the most part, I think they've gone kind of the way I had written up my brackets. I know Tommy's gonna hate me again, but I was kind of wanting Lion Tamer to be a dark horse and beat One Winged Angel, just because I've always loved that version of. It wasn't personal to the One Winged Angel. It was just I always loved that version, and it always sucked that they basically made him, or maybe he did it, I don't know, but basically turned it into a Boston Crab.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, I think it's pretty. First round matchups for the most part, except for the 5-12 in the NCAA, are usually go the way you would expect. So,
yeah. Tommy, any thoughts on this? I know the Rainmaker's out after one round, and it was an uphill battle, but it got a good number of votes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, don't talk to me about that. I'm just okay. Anyway, no, it's going okay. Like I said, just Rainmaker lost. Whatever. Let's move on. Let's just.
In all fairness, it lost to someone that has the potential to win the entire tournament.
Fair enough. You're right. I just, it's a personal choice for me.
Understand.
All right, with that, we'll move into our 1 minute warning. Mike, do you have something for us this week?
Sure.
All right. Get this clock ready, set, and go.
So I'm going to do my 1 minute warning on Shane McMahon on Raw last night. And I got to be honest, I've really liked Shane McMahon over the years. You can always count on him to, really just do crazy things. But last night, his little promo with Braun Strowman was one of the weirdest, most boring things I've ever seen. And I honestly think that it's Shane's another one of those guys that just needs to stop showing up as often. Because it was one of the most awkward things I've ever seen. And it literally looked like he forgot his lines. So yeah, Shane McMahon, maybe not this year. Guys, I'm serious. I turned off Raw about halfway through. About the only good thing, like we talked about before the show, was the Miz promo. Not even the match, because it was an elongated squash by Lashley. McIntyre and Sheamus beating the hell out of each other for the second week was cool. But I literally just turned it off. And kind of after that, because like if you go back and watch it, like he stutters for like 5 minutes. And people really thought, that maybe, and look, all joking aside, I have flashbacks of the Ultimate Warrior.
Yes.
Because you remember his last promo, and he's all red, and he looks like he's all, and it, you know,
it's kind of shaking a little bit. You can tell in his voice he's struggling a bit, you know?
and
you know.
And I think with Shane McMahon, he just wears himself out with all his dancing. I don't know, but it's obvious. Like, watch the promo, and he's breathing heavy throughout the whole thing. He always sweats like insanely.
Yeah.
And then it was just real awkward. Like, they said they're trying to get him to. Basically, they're setting up Strowman and Shane for WrestleMania. Shane is trying to call Braun Strowman stupid, but it was really awkward. And again, we come to WrestleMania, Strowman's in a gimmick, special attraction type match, and I don't know. I feel like they keep dropping the ball with him when it comes to this stuff. But
at least last year he beat Goldberg. We have
the last year was right.
Yeah.
I wonder if Shane just wants to get a cinematic match. So he's not going to be breathing as hard. But, Shane, I'll offer you one piece of advice. I recently started up doing Insanity again. I kind of started it, got halfway through.
God, that was a thing.
Yeah, thanks to Beach Body On Demand. Like, I'm starting that up. And, yeah, that first week sucks. But I'm into the second week of workouts, and it's starting to, okay, now I'm getting my wits about me, and now I'm starting to get a little bit better about it. So, but I definitely need to drop some of the quarantine weight I picked up. So yeah.
Same. My cheeks hurt.
Yeah. Okay, Tommy, are you good to have your 1 minute warning now?
Yeah. Holy crap, my cheeks hurt.
Right.
Yeah. Let's do this.
All right. Ready, set, and go.
Okay, so I forgot to mention last week that this week, starting on the 4th, the New Japan Cup has started up. So far, we have what's coming up next is Evil and Cobb, Great-O-Khan, Toriano, Goto, and Shingo Takagi is coming up soon. Minoru Suzuki and Kenta, I cannot wait. Will Ospreay, Zack Sabre Jr., and Yuji Nagata and Sonata. So, that's going to be fun for New Japan, and I cannot wait. But real quick, my last 30 seconds, I want to bring up the Joshi side of Japanese wrestling. Big ups to Stardom having their big show in the Nippon Budokan. Julia actually lost the match, and she got her head shaved, losing her belt to Tam Nakano. But Julia did not let that keep her down. She came out with like this militaristic look, like G.I. Jane, which looked badass as hell. So I'm looking forward to where she goes with that. And also big ups to Maki Ito and Thunder Rosa picking up right where they left off from Tokyo Joshi Pro. Because I think even Thunder Rosa said, like years later, still the same Maki. And I'm like, please let Maki Ito be sticking around, and for no other reason because I want to hear her attempted broken English on a promo because that's just so much fun. So yeah, so I'm a Maki Ito simp. I'm when they're talking about who you're asking who are these people who simp for her. I'm a card carrying member. I fully admit it. Hey, she's funny, so I'm a fan.
So Tommy, I listened to that entire thing, but about 5 seconds in, I heard Evil versus Cobb.
Mike's eyes lit up with that. Yeah,
it's you know what? Let me check what it is for you so I can you know what. Or whenever it happens, I'll just let you know, and you can watch it. So I'll let you borrow my login. But yeah, it's supposed to be coming up soon because they're in the second round, starting on they're in the second round now. But like, no, they're still in the first round because Finlay and Chase Owens is next, and then Yoshihashi and Takahashi, and then Toa Hanare versus Jay White. Then that's going to finish out the first round, and this next round starts on March 11th. So they got so today and tomorrow. As they're finishing round 1, and then tomorrow round 2 start, and then the 11th round 2 starts.
Cool.
And Toriano is still the king of pro wrestling, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how you are still mad about that?
I love it. I love it. That's all I care about.
I check online all the time, and it's like, and I'm starting to think that Toriano physically just stole their girlfriends / wives away. Like he caught these guys caught Toriano in bed with their girlfriends and wives. I was like, bro. Why do y'all hate him this much? Oh my God, I have never seen this much hate for a guy who's not named Mike Adamle. Anyway,
you know what? Toriano versus Okada, Wrestle Kingdom 16. Book it. All right. Would love to see it.
The internet will explode with hatred.
All right. Some of you already remember. I showed y'all earlier the video that I got from Darby Allin for my birthday, and not too long ago, although it seems like a while ago, Tommy managed to get a video of Big Swole sending me words of encouragement with Crohn's disease, and I'm wearing a new purple bracelet. I don't know how well you can see it, but Tina got it for my birthday. It says Crohn's Warrior, has the ribbon and a Superman logo on it, and this is a bit of a time where I need to return the favor a bit to Swole herself. As some of y'all may have heard, she has been off TV for a while. People wondering why she wasn't in the women's eliminator tournament and why she hasn't been seen. Well, as some of us Crohn's are cursed with, she's having some flare-ups with Crohn's disease, and it's scary. I will say it's a very freaky thing. And it's a pain. It's without for pun intended, it's a pain in the ass, and you're just like lethargic. You're fatigued. You can't really do much. You feel weak, but keep fighting, Swole. Every fan of you like myself, everyone has Crohn's disease in your corner. Don't give up, please. Don't ever give up on it. Keep fighting. Keep doing what you're doing, and everything is going to be okay. The recovery is going to be there. It sucks right now, but you're slowly coming out of it. I know you are, and we'll see you back on TV soon. And I would love, deep down in my heart, I would love to see you take on Hikaru Shida. And if you don't win, just beat the living crap out of her and tell her you're here for real. Just here for real. So swole up. Let's do this. Get back out there. We're all with you. So, so many ways I can relate to that. It sucks. Anyway. Impact Sacrifice this Saturday, March 13th, 7 p.m. Central Time. They don't usually have a pre-show, so just be ready to tune in at 7. It'll be from the Skyway Studios in Nashville, Tennessee, and will be available exclusively on Impact Plus, their streaming service. Check out ImpactWrestling.com for more details on that. As for us, our Twitter account is at @CCG_WrestleCast, and of course, you can subscribe here on the Countdown City Geeks YouTube channel. Next week, we will recap Impact Sacrifice on Impact Plus, and provide you guys an update on our Spring Madness tournament and preview WWE Fastlane, the final stop on the road to WrestleMania, and the first pay-per-view available on the Peacock streaming service as WWE and Peacock transition.
AKA Detour,
yes.
AKA I-35.
Are there any matches set for Fastlane?
I don't even know. But let's check on that to see if they even have anything.
Okay, while you're looking that up, I want to bring up something that I heard a rumor that I heard Vince is upset that no one's focusing on Fastlane, they're all focusing on WrestleMania. And my response is, well, duh, stupid, because you're not saying anything about Fastlane. Of course everyone's focusing on WrestleMania. Why is there even this pay-per-view even happening? So,
Because,
it's WrestleMania. You literally built it up to be the biggest thing in wrestling every year. No one, like you said, no one wants Fastlane.
So there are 2 matches set for Fastlane so far. Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler against Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair again.
Oh, that's right. Like that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then Roman Reigns defending the Universal title against.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah.
I still think Dakota and Raquel need a rematch. I am quite upset that this is happening and not them getting a rematch. I really am.
So I don't know if you've heard some of the rumors. Because there's I don't know if it's bad or not, but there's 2 big announcements that William Regal is supposed to have tomorrow night. Okay. One is the expected move to Tuesday night, but the other is because did you actually watch the match with Raquel and the tag match on NXT?
Clips of it later. Yeah, I can watch the actual. You
saw how Adam Pearce got involved and brought the Raw referee, and there was a little bit of controversy.
Yeah.
So there's rumors or speculation that NXT are going to create their own women tag team championships and either have a tournament or have some sort of thing to just kind of stick on their own. And I kind of don't blame them because you talked about this before. They hardly ever take the women titles down there. And I feel like there's more women tag teams in NXT than there are in like SmackDown and Raw combined. Unless SmackDown and Raw just does their usual put 2 people together and make a team out of nothing.
Yeah. Well, I kind of feel like that's what's happening right now with this whole Sasha and Bianca thing. Not that it wouldn't be a great team. That would be a great team if that was the story going in. But they already have a story. Why is this happening? I don't understand.
I swear to God, if they win the titles before WrestleMania, I'm going to be so.
Well, okay. So I know we're not even talking about Fastlane, but like they posted recently, I think today, as a matter of fact, the Eddie Guerrero Rey Mysterio match from WrestleMania 21, where they were the tag champions and they faced each other, and that, to me, I was like, oh dear God, that's an omen, isn't it? But it's like, well, yeah, they didn't have a match at Mania though, so that kind of made sense. These two have a match at Mania. They don't need the tag belts. That makes zero sense. So.
I agree, but they love to do it. I don't know why.
Vince needs something to do, man. Like he needs a hobby.
I think we'll be discussing that a lot more next week as far as how they've kind of dropped the ball with the women's tag belts and what they need to do to fix it. So
and the Raw women's singles picture.
So much to it, yeah. Peyton Royce had a very impassioned speech on Raw Talk. If you haven't seen it, we'll be mentioning it next week. So if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it and be ready to comment with us when we talk Fastlane next week. So until then, enjoy Impact Sacrifice this weekend. Should be a really good show. They're adding matches as we speak, and there's a lot on the line with it right now too as well. Thank you again for watching. Over here, we got Tommy.
Laters.
We got Mike.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other.
And I'm JC, the 40-year-old host of the WrestleCast. And as always, heels and baby faces, we like to say, pro wrestling is real. People are fake.
Yeah.
Hey yo, subscribe to the channel by clicking right here. Or, if you want to watch more videos, click right here!